Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Dr. Triania Sutiata, or you can call me Dr. Tuti, from the Department of Histology, Faculty of Medicine, Hasanuddin University. In this video, I will explain about transmembrane transport, cell membrane modification, and cell junction in cytology. This is the learning object of this video. After studying histology in general, students are expected to be able to distinguish the types of tissue in the human body by histologically and histophysiologically. Specifically, after watching this video, students are expected to be able to explain the types of transmembrane transport, explain the modification of cell membrane, and explain the type of cell junction. These are a detailed sub-subject that students must be able to explain after watching this learning video. Transmembrane transport mechanism can occur through simple passive diffusion, passive osmosis, passive use of transmembrane protein mediated by channels and carriers, active use of transmembrane protein by pump proteins, and vesicular transport. Vesicular transport divided into endocytosis and exocytosis. Endocytosis occurs by phagocytosis, pinocytosis, receptor-mediated endocytosis. And what is the difference between passive transport and active transport? Passive transport occurs because of the different concentration due to the kinetic energy of the substances. On the other hand, active transport uses energy to move substances outside the membrane. This is the transmembrane transport by simple diffusion. In simple diffusion, lipophilic molecules, small molecules, and non-polar molecules can pass through the membrane by simple diffusion. An example of simple diffusion is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between blood and body tissues. This molecule is the lipophilic molecules, small molecule, and non-polar molecules. This molecule can pass the membrane by the simple diffusion. The next transmembrane transport is channel mediated. Small molecule, water-soluble molecule, and ions pass through the membrane with ion-specific transmembrane proteins called the channels. An example of channel-mediated transport is sodium ions moving through special sodium ions channels to cells. This channels is hydrophilic and contains holes that penetrate into the bilayer membrane which function to filter ions selectively. We can see in the picture the blue one is a channel and the green one is a molecule contained with the small molecule, water-soluble molecule, or ions can move from the outside of the cell into the cells. Many other larger water-soluble molecules require binding to site on selective carrier protein, which then change their conformation and release the molecule to the other side of the membrane. In this transmembrane transport, using a ion-specific transmembrane protein called carrier pump protein. Pumps are carrier protein for active transport of ions or other solutes and require energy derived from ATP. You can see the green one is the carrier pump protein and the red one is a molecule can pass through the cell membrane by the carrier pump protein. Osmosis is the diffusion of water across a selectively permeable membrane. The direction of diffusion depends on the concentration of the solute from high concentration to low concentration until it reaches equilibrium concentration. The other transmembrane transport is vesicular transport. vesicular transport, maintain the integrity of the plasma membrane, and also provide for the transfer of molecules between different cellular compartments. The major mechanism by which large molecules enter, leave, and move within the cell is called vesicle budding. There are two mechanisms in this vesicular transport. There are endocytosis and exocytosis. Endocytosis is the general term for processes of vesicular transport in which substances enter the cells. Endocytosis can occur in three ways: phagocytosis, pinocytosis, and receptor-mediated endocytosis. This image shows the process of phagocytosis. Phagocytosis means cell eating, which is the process of ingesting particles such as bacteria or the remains of dead cells. This activity involves macrophage and neutrophil. When bacteria are bound to the surface of neutrophilia, they are surrounded by the elongated cell membrane, and the cytoplasm form a membrane fold. The combination of this cell membrane fold will close and trap the bacteria in intracellular vacuoles called phagosome, which will then unite it with lysosome for the lysosomal degradation process. This is the mechanism of pinocytosis process. Pinocytosis means cell drinking. The cell membrane forms the indentation or invagination containing the extracellular fluid and dissolved substances into the invagination. And then this invagination become pinch off from the cells and fuse with the other substance and form the pinocytotic vesicle. So this is the pinocytotic vesicle. Next, this vesicle can go through one of two mechanisms. The first mechanism is make fusion with lysosome and undergo lysosomal degradation. And the other mechanism is they can move to the opposite cell surface and fuse with the cell membrane at that site and release their content out of the cells. This is called transcytosis. This is receptor-mediated endocytosis process. There are some structure that involve in this endocytosis. This is the ligand. This is the specific surface receptors. This is the adaptor protein and clathrin as a specific cytoplasmic protein, and this is the dynamin as a peripheral membrane protein. Ligands will be bind with the receptors and form the receptor-ligand complexes. And these complexes associated with the adaptor protein and clathrin, and they aggregate in the membrane region of the cell and form the coated pit. This is the coated pit. Clathrin will facilitate the invagination of the pit, and the dynamin will form the constricting loop around the developing neck of the pit, and this causing the invagination to pinch off as the coated vesicle. This is the coated vesicle. And after coated vesicle is formed, clathrin will leave the vesicle and be recycled again. And the vesicle will fuse with other endosome, and this fuse form the endosomal compartment. This is the endosomal compartment. Now the endosomal compartment contain the receptor and ligand. Receptor and ligand may be carried to late endosome and then to lysosome for the degradation. Or the ligand may be released from the receptor, and this empty receptor will return to the cell surface to reuse again. And another endosomal vesicle containing the ligand may move to the cell surface and fuse with the other cell surface, and ligand will be released again the outside the cell and in process of the transcytosis. Exocytosis is the process of moving large molecule from inside the cell to the outside of the cell that involves vesicular transport. This is the large molecule containing the vesicle, and this is the vesicle containing will fuse with the cell membrane, and the vesicle will be released from the cytoplasm to the outside of the cell membrane, accompanied by the release of the content of the vesicle into the extracellular space. Some epithelia, such as cuboidal epithelium and columnar epithelium, have a special structure that is a protrusion part of the cell membrane, especially in the apical part of the cell and also on the lateral and basal cells. This protrusion is a modification of the cell membrane that serves to expand the apical and lateral surfaces of the cell. All function as a moving structure on the epithelial surface. There are several forms of the cell membrane modification, which are microvilli, cilia, and basolateral fold. This is the microvilli at the apical of the cells. Microvilli, also known as brush border or striated border, are smooth protrusion on the cell surface that serve to expand the surface, commonly found in the cell that function for absorption. Each microvilli contain banded actin filaments bound to the plasma membrane. And this is cilia. Cilia also at the apical of the cell. Cilia are long, highly motile apical structures, larger than microvilli and containing internal array of microtubules. Cilia can be divided into movable cilia or kinocilia and immovable cilia or stereocilia. This is the basolateral fold in the lateral of the cell and in the basal of the cell. The basolateral fold, also known as the interdigitation process, is a fold on the underside of the cell that hold each other between one cell and surrounding cells, which serves to expand the lateral surface of the cell, strengthen the cell attachment, and serve as a place for exchanging information from one cell to other cells. The last topic in this video is cell junction. Several membrane-associated structures provide adhesion and communication between cells. Some are present in other tissues, but all are particularly numerous and prominent in epithelia. Epithelial cells adhere strongly to neighboring cells and basal lamina. There are several specialized intercellular junctions with different functions, such as occludent junction, adherent junction, and gap junction. Occludence junction. Occludence junction, also known as a tight junction. There are two types of occludent junction, zonula occludens and fascia occludens. The zonula occludens is located at the apical of the cell. This cell junction creates a very tight area that is impermeable to other materials. The goal is to prevent unwanted substances entering or leaving the cell, similar to put cement between tiles. So there are textbooks that give them the term cementing substances for this junction. This is beehive shape. The second is fascia occludens. Fascia occludens similar to the zonula but present in the center of the cells. Zonula occludens are plate-shaped and abundant in capillaries only. This is the adherent junction. The function of adherent junction are adjust the lumens, regulate cell membrane tension, and regulate the apical cell contraction. There are two types of adherent junction, zonula adherens and macula adherens. At adherent junction, there is a specific structure called desmosome. And this is the desmosome. Desmosome consists of four components: cell cytoplasmic plaque or cytoplasmic compaction, the filament of cytoskeleton that consists of intermediate filament and transmembrane linker or extracellular filament. The filament of cytoskeleton is attached in the cytoplasmic plaque, and the end of this structure is bound by the transmembrane linkers. The last cell junction is gap junction. Gap junction or nexus mainly found in heart muscle. Specific structure of gap junction are the pores between one cell to another. And this is the pores in the gap junction. Particle contain substances or information can move from one cell to another through these pores. And I hope the information in this video can be useful for all of us. Amen. There are some references that you can read. Thank you for watching me and see you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.